We're not here to walk on a treadmill and watch television. We are here to get things done. My name is Bobby Maximus, and in case you haven't heard of me, let me give you a bit of a rundown. I fought in the UFC, I've won in the UFC, I've won Submission of the Night in the UFC. I competed twice on the Ultimate Fighter reality series, and I've trained Tier 1 assets in the United States military. I've also worked with Olympians and thousands of average people from all over the world. I wrote a best-selling book for men's health called Maximus Body, and Men's Health named me one of the 100 fittest men of all time. The number one question I get asked is why I work out. Number one, I want to feel good. Listen, I'm in my 40s. I want to feel good. I want to be injury-free, especially going into my later years. Longevity is everything. Two, I want to perform good. I want to be able to do stuff. I want to be able to lift heavy weight. These things are important to me. I work way too hard to have a poor physique. I want the abs. I want the pecs. I want the arms. I want the shoulders. Today, we're going to do one of my go-to upper body workouts. We're going to focus on some mobility. We're going to focus on some strength, and then we're going to focus on some conditioning. Every time that I work out, I do a dedicated warm-up. The warm-up is usually a cardiovascular activity. Now, why do I do a dedicated warm-up? Number one, it's a great way to build volume from a cardiovascular standpoint. If I was to run a mile, just a mile before every single workout that I do, and I work out 300 times a year, by the end of the year, I'd accumulate 300 extra miles of running. That's 11 marathons. To start every upper body workout that I do some form of shoulder mobility. I've met a lot of athletes in my life, and there's a lot of people out there with shoulder problems. One of the exercises I love for shoulder mobility is the shoulder dislocate. You can do it using a PVC pipe or a broomstick or a skipping rope. And all you're gonna do, you're gonna grab a nice wide grip, and you're gonna rotate that bar, rotate that PVC pipe or that broomstick around you. As you're rotating it around, you wanna make the circle as big as possible. So at every angle, you wanna push this thing away from you. This is one of my go-to exercises for shoulder mobility. Usually I do 3 sets of 5. So now that we've finished with our mobility work, we're gonna get into the dedicated strength portion of the upper body workout. Now, one of my favorite strength exercises for the upper body is a standing overhead press with a barbell. In my opinion, too many people do too much bench press. They push too much in this plane and they don't do enough stuff overhead. And so that's why I favor this exercise. I do a bunch of overhead stuff. It will help keep you injury free, and by building up the shoulders, it'll give you the aesthetic that you really want. Everybody wants big shoulders. Now, my go-to format for this is I'll warm up with an empty barbell. I'll do 2 or 3 sets of 10, and then I will get down to business. I want to take the bar, I want to brace my core. Nothing will sort out your core like putting a weight overhead. And from there, I want to press it from the top of my chest or my collarbone to over my head. I want to make sure I put my head through at the end so the spine's in line, and lower down slowly. Full range of motion for this exercise is everything. This isn't necessarily about max weight. It's about that range of motion and putting some good weight overhead. I'll do 5 sets of 3 reps of standing overhead press with 80% of my 1 rep max. Now, if you don't know what 80% of your 1 rep max is, that's not a big deal. Just use a weight that feels heavy for 5 sets of 3. I'll usually rest 1 minute to 90 seconds in between each set. So we've done some mobility work, we've done some strength work, and now it's time to get into some conditioning work. My favorite part of the workout. We're gonna do something called the Holy Trinity. It's literally my favorite upper body conditioning workout of all time. If you know anything about me, you know I preach the benefits of body weight work. The Holy Trinity has 3 of the best upper body weight exercises of all time. The pull-up, the dip, and the push-up. The Holy Trinity itself is a 30-minute circuit, and your goal is to get as many pull-ups, dips, and push-ups as possible. You can do any set structure, any rep structure. Your goal, like I said, is to just get max reps of each movement. This workout will fill your body with acidity. It will get your muscles to grow in all the right ways and will make you a functionally fit and functionally strong human being so you can have that real world horsepower that I value. For the dip, I want you to use as great of a range of motion as possible, provided it doesn't hurt your shoulders. You're gonna press yourself up till your arms are fully extended, and then you're gonna slowly lower yourself till your triceps or the back of your arms are parallel to the ground, and then push yourself all the way back up. That's the ideal range of motion for a dip. The pull-up. This is the #1 exercise I see in the gym that people cheat. Why? Because they're hard. Have you ever wondered why people focus on lat pull downs? It's because the pull-ups are too difficult and they can't do a proper range of motion. For my pull-ups, I want you to start from a dead hang. That means your arms are straight, shoulders activated. And I want you to pull yourself all the way up till your chin's above the bar, and then slowly lower yourself back down. That is the perfect range of motion for a pull-up. For the push-up, range of motion is everything. It's one of the most commonly cheated exercises in the history of exercising. For me to count an exercise as a push-up, you gotta have your hands roughly shoulder width apart. You're gonna lower yourself all the way until your chest touches the ground, not your belly, your chest. And then you're gonna push yourself all the way up till your arms are fully extended. That's what a good, solid push-up looks like. So there you have it, an official Bobby Maximus upper body workout. And what a workout it was. We started with the warm-up, we did some shoulder mobility, we did some overhead press, and then my favorite conditioning workout of all time, the Holy Trinity. If you have time, you can always finish up with a cool down. It's a great way to aid in recovery and also a great way to sneak in a little bit extra of cardiovascular volume. You can feel free to bike, you can feel free to run, you can row, just 10 to 20 minutes of extra work. And then the workout as a whole, when you look at it, it accomplishes those 3 goals that I talked about earlier. It's gonna leave you feeling good, it's gonna leave you performing good so you're not all show and no go, and it's gonna build you the physique or give you the aesthetic that you know that you really want. Thanks for another great workout.